I think that what I take from noir is this concept that the world is corrupt. And how do you live in a corrupt society? And for me, the noir that I love, from Red Harvest on, it sort of gets at those existential questions, sort of who am I? I think identity is a big part of what I write about. Who am I? Why am I here? And how the fuck do I live? What do I do? And noir is a lot about being confident in the choices that you make, and those are the wrong choices. I love books where characters are wrong, and I think that I'm attracted to characters who are very confident that they have the world figured out, and the world is going to teach them that they are entirely wrong about that. Every time something horrible happens, like they think they know how to get out of it. So it's like, oh, I'm getting this guy is now a witness. Well, we'll just kill him. We'll just kill him and get rid of him. And I think Eddie Muller, who hosts Noir Alley, he talks about uh, like instead of going out and get a job, right, to earn money, noir, these guys always take like the most complicated route to earn money, get involved with the worst possible people. Like you just wouldn't do that if you're thinking. But again, people do it all the time. I like that idea about siblings in noir and how they're sort of a toxic relationship. And what I wanted to do was sort of explore that relationship. And even though they suspect each other, not sure if they can trust each other, they still have to work with each other. And they have this routine and they have to stick by this routine because they have obligations, even though they are deeply distrustful of each other. In fact, one of them has threatened to kill the other, but they still get in their car and go about their business and do their work. The genesis of the book came from uh, this phrase, and it was basically like, if he wants a war, I'll give him a war. And that sort of rattled around in my head for a while. And it's like, is that anything? Is that anything? And so I was walking the dog one morning, walking up a hill, and I thought this house was on fire, and got up to the top of the hill. House wasn't on fire, just had some burning some bad diesel in the furnace or something. But it just struck me. It's like this is this guy, and it's his brother's house, and his house is on fire, and he's going to go put out the fire and be blamed by his brother for starting the fire. And that was really the beginning of the story. And then, I don't know how I came up with their names, but the name struck as Peck because his mother thinks he looks like Gregory Peck, even though he doesn't at all. And Al. And then the title was sort of this, began as this bad pun on Al We Trust, which became All We Trust. Thank God that I sort of like figured out how to use the title without it being this horrible pun. But Peck runs this bar, the Flying F, which people in the novel keep saying you got to change the name of your bar, even though he inherited the bar. And his brother Al runs a hardware store, and those are fronts for money laundering, and they are required like every Friday to go haul all this cash to the person they work for, who makes them stand there while he counts the money to sort of demonstrate, like, that you're just delivery boys, that none of this is yours. And the conflict between the brothers is that Al has an external hard drive that goes missing. Peck thinks that what's on that drive is information that he's going to hand over to the district attorney. And Al knows that there's crypto on that hard drive that is anywhere between $2 million and $7 million. And then Peck's teenage daughter enters the picture as both sort of the reason for this conflict, but also the person who sort of solves the conflict in the end. She's a high school girl, and she's friends with this person Kelly, and the father doesn't know if Kelly's boy or girl. He doesn't really know anything about that part of her life. And it was sort of that that lack of information on his side that led me to think like, well, she should have a say in this novel. So she periodically interrupts the narrative to sort of correct the father, to sort of clean up some of the messes that he's made in the narrative, which is the conceit of it is that he's started writing this as a way to tell the truth about his brother. But as he goes on, he sort of is telling about his life. And when the daughter comes in, she's sort of like, I'm not going to let my dad confess to these crimes. So she sort of like changes the narrative, disputes the narrative. And as I mentioned, she is becomes more and more involved in their life. And like Noir, she's sort of the innocent that gets slowly seduced into the life of criminality that her uncle and father have.